Hey, shalom, Israel. This is I.S.U.P.K. Louisville. We're closing out the Day of Atonement, a high holy day before the Most High. We're going to have a Tawab class. Stand by. Shalom, Lord Christ. That's what's up. So, shout out to GEN.YAHANNA, Most High in Christ. Man, we ready to get it in one moment. Share the class. I would ask that anybody watching share the class. That way other people can get edified. You feel me? One moment. Hey, shalom. This is the I.S.U.P.K. Louisville class coming out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York, under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. My name is Officer Hamakobath, and I would like to welcome you to the I.S.U.P.K. Louisville class. The end of the Day of Atonement, plus we're going to have a Brotherhood class. Lack of brotherhood is how we got into Egypt, man. Taught by Officer Amawan Gabar. You want to stay tuned for that one. Most High in Christ. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a couple of scriptures that you might have not considered concerning the Day of Atonement. I know you've probably been watching a lot of classes and this and that, but I want to give you a different perspective that you might not have considered. That's in the scriptures. It's not coming out of my own understanding. It's actually in the scriptures. It's just that I had to dig in the crates, so to speak, of the scriptures and pull these out. So it should be real enlightening and eye-opening. Sharing the class one moment. We almost there. Man. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the No Cowards Louisville YouTube channel. Subscribe there, man. We're gonna have some exclusive content there, man. It's gonna get hot this winter. Real talk. You want to make sure that you subscribe to that channel. All right, we almost there. All right. So if you could, let me get that in the book of Leviticus. What is that? Is it 20 and 20? Leviticus 20 is that scripture on the Day of Atonement. You know what I'm talking about? It's either 23 or 20. Let me get that one first concerning the Day of Atonement. Or you can just type that in on your app.
Uh, 23 and 27.
Okay, let me get that real quick.
Leviticus 23 and 27. Also on the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement.
Okay, now what is that? Atonement, just to recapitulate what's already been out there, that is to make amends with the Most High for our sins. You see what I'm saying? Which Christ has done, but in the tradition, in the spirit of Christ, we need a reminder because Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, when we're in captivity, we tend to become wicked like the people that we are captive to. So what we need to do is humble ourselves, afflict our souls, right? Go ahead.
It shall be in holy convocation unto you.
A holy convocation. What is that? Holy means separate. Convocation means gathering. You understand? Go ahead.
And ye shall afflict your souls.
Now, ye shall afflict your souls. What does that mean? Now, to find out the meaning of that, we go into Isaiah 58 and go to verse 5. Yes, Isaiah 58, verse 5. Your oppressor is the goddamn devil, because if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have been so goddamn hungry today. You understand me? He got you sinning, got you into a system of sin. Therefore, you had to keep the Day of Atonement, and you was hungry than a hostage. You was hungry than a motherfucker today. Slock. You know you was. Hey, I'm about to hydrate here in one moment with this strong but I'm just waiting for the clock to tick. You know, I think we're about there in a minute. You know what I mean? Let me get that.
Isaiah 58:5. Is it such a fast?
That's such a what?
A fast.
Okay, a fast is when you abstain from something, right? In this case, we're going to abstain from food and drink. These are things that bring pleasure to the flesh. That's why we are abstaining from it. You know what I mean? Because we are disciplining our body before the Most High. Because blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we have a discipline problem. You see what I'm saying? We have a discipline problem where we don't want to deny ourselves. Here in America, here in Babylon, in Sodom and Gomorrah, what we do is everything that we can use to pleasure ourselves, whether it be food, pork chop sandwich, whether it be sex, you know what I'm saying, drugs or something, we don't deny ourselves. So a fast in and of itself is when you deny yourself of something. You can fast from your phone, your Facebook account. You can fast from food. You can fast from sex. Many different things, right? But it's going to be specific here, if I could. Yeah, let me get the water. Okay, if I could, the water. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna hydrate with some water first, and then I'm gonna hydrate with some strong. The water, and let's give a shout out to the Most High in Christ. You know what I'm saying, for sustaining us. You know, the Day of Atonement, man. And if you was able to complete that, the Most High will look well upon you, because what you do is you're saying before the Most High, I'm sorry for where I came up short and missed the mark this whole year. You see what I'm saying? Even though Christ is covered, you know, when you're in the truth, but holding some type of personal accountability, we say we deny ourselves, right? And we thank the Most High for sustaining our lives. And we look forward to the Most High doing awesome things and bringing down this goddamn kingdom. You know what I mean? But read that again.
Isaiah 58:5. It is such a fast that I have chosen, a day for a man to afflict his soul.
Okay, we read earlier in the book of Leviticus, it said afflict your soul, but we're going to find out what that means. Go ahead.
Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush,
Mm-hmm.
and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him?
Right. This is a very somber attitude you're having, because you are feeling sorry and you are humbling yourself for the wrongs that we've done this past year. Right? Go ahead.
Wilt thou call this a fast?
Call it a what?
A fast.
Go ahead.
An acceptable day to the Lord?
This is an acceptable day to the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Is not this the fast that I have chosen?
Right. The Most High chose it. You know what I mean? So the Christian church will say, we don't need to fast no more. That's in the past. That's Old Testament. We're going to bring out a scripture in the New Testament. Go ahead.
To lose the bands of wickedness?
Now, this is the benefit. This is the benefit of fulfilling and recognizing the Day of Atonement. Go ahead.
To undo the heavy burdens and to let the oppressed go free?
Mm-hmm.
And break that ye break every yoke?
Right. Break every yoke. What's a yoke? Something that keeps you in bondage, right? It might be a grudge you got toward a brother or a sister, something like that. Go ahead.
Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The money you was going to use on food, you can save that up and give to the poor. Go ahead.
And that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house?
Right.
When thou seest the naked, and thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thy own flesh.
Hide not thyself from thy own flesh. That's real heavy. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go into that, but it goes into your kindred, your brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, in the truth. Go ahead.
Then shall thy light break forth as the morning.
Mm-hmm. What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get some shine on, basically, you know what I'm saying? Because what you did in secret, the Most High is gonna reward you openly. Go ahead.
And thine health shall spring forth speedily.
Also healing. Many people use the practice of fasting to heal. It actually helps cleanse and detoxify your body. Go ahead.
And thy righteousness shall go before thee.
The Most High, because what you did and you afflicted your soul, the payment is that the Most High is gonna make righteousness go before you. Go ahead.
The glory of the Lord shall be thy reward.
The glory of the Most High is gonna be your reward. Go ahead.
Then shalt thou call, and the Lord shall answer.
Now that's a benefit that you want. When you call, the Most High is gonna answer you. So you go, but without food and drink, you afflicting your soul for a day. Wouldn't you want that benefit? There's gonna be a lot of people, especially here in Louisville, Kentucky, that's gonna be in horror tonight. You know what I mean? Because they neglected to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. They're gonna call upon the Lord, but He ain't gonna hear them. But when you call upon the Lord, when I call upon the Lord, He's gonna hear us because we honored Him. Go ahead.
Thou shalt cry, and He shall say, Here I am.
Right. You're gonna cry, Lord, help me. You ever been like that? I have. Go ahead.
If thou take away from the midst of the yoke, the putting forth of the finger and speaking vanity.
Right. And that's the thing about it. You know, if you did some stuff in the past, you know, pointing of the finger and vanity for fame, glory, the slate can be clean now. You know what I mean? Now just walk in this next upcoming year. Strive for perfection in the law, statutes, and commandments. Tonight's a brotherhood class. Be brotherly to your brothers. Go ahead.
And if thou draw out thy soul to the hunger and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity, and thy darkness be as the noonday.
All what you're saying is all the stuff that was dark, man. It's gonna be as the noonday, man. You the light of the world. That's the point. So this is the benefit of honoring the Day of Atonement. We can go into a lot more, but I want to touch on that. Now, if I could, let me get the book of Acts chapter 27 and verse 9. This is the last one I'm going to bring out because a lot of people say, well, that was the Old Testament. I'm going to show you in the New Testament where Paul observed the Day of Atonement, the fast. Go ahead.
Acts 27 and 9. Now when much time was spent, and when sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was now already past.
Wait a minute. What was already passed?
The fast.
Right. The fast, the Day of Atonement. This is in the book of Acts, right? The so-called New Testament for you Christians. Go ahead.
Paul.
Who?
Paul.
Paul, the same person that talked with Yahushua on the road to Damascus, right? So the fast had not been done away with. He would have told them people, look, do away with the fast. Do away with the Day of Atonement. He didn't do that because he observed it. And it was mentioned in the New Testament. Go ahead.
Paul admonished them.
He admonished them. That's all I want to bring out. I could get deep into that, but just want to touch on it. You know, the end of the Day of Atonement. Man, Most High in Christ, to everybody that was able to observe that, it's very hard, but there's a benefit. Your light is going to spring forth, like the scriptures say, healing, all kind of good things. But the most important, that the Most High is going to hear you when you call to Him for honoring Him. Just a small little act. Somebody said, man, it wasn't small. I was hungry than horses. But here's the thing, man, you could have been hungry anyway. Right. You know what I'm saying? Homeless, poor, something broke. Right. So what you did was, you know, it means more because you had it and you sacrificed it unto the Most High and you afflicted your soul. And that is definitely a benefit that you want from the Most High. And with that said, we're going to get into the brotherhood portion of the class. And I'm going to turn the class over to priest and officer Amawan Gabar.
Hey, shalom, Israel. And that was the water for that, sir.
Most High in Christ.
And the water to all the brothers and sisters in I.S.U.P.K. They kept the Day of Atonement because Lord knows, the fake Israelite groups didn't.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons how we got into Egypt. Because brothers didn't want to keep the Day of Atonement. They was making up all type of excuses why they don't want to fast. Brothers didn't want to hold on to all the laws and the commandments that, you know, the Most High told us to do.
Right.
So we're going to get deep into like the portion of how we got into Egypt, because a lot of people in the world, they don't know. Like they hear we say it, they hear people say it, they know about the pyramids in South America and how they match the ones in Egypt. So they had to been there and stuff like that. But the Bible goes deeply into how we got in there. Right. We're gonna start off with Genesis 37:3. Okay. Genesis 37:3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. Okay, so basically, Israel, he liked the Joseph the most, because it's nothing wrong with that. It's not wrong with you having a bunch of kids and you like one more than the other. Right. Like I got a son, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna be my favorite out of all of them, because he was there with me first from the beginning. We were sleeping on the floor when I ain't have nothing to offer to him, and he was right there smiling in my face. So like, it's nothing wrong with having no kid that you like more than the other. Now, that don't mean you're supposed to hate the other one. Don't take that out of context. He just loved Joseph the most. All right, so that's really kind of self-explanatory. Let me drop down to verse 4. Genesis 37:4. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably of him. So basically, the children of Israel, they hated Joseph. They didn't like him. They didn't speak nice to him. Ain't that how brothers is right now? Right. Ain't that what they do right now in every community, as far as the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians? Ain't that what they do? They hating on the brother. Oh man, he got that nice car, man. But you got a nice car too. But he has got them nice rims on it. Because all of the children of Israel got the blessing. They all got the blessing to rule the earth, to be mighty in this earth. But instead, because they father like the Joseph more, they could not speak kindly of him at all. And who do that today? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Right. We always talk bad on our brother. Even if we doing good, we still find something to say about him. Like, man, he doing this, and man, he doing that, man. That coat from last year, man, I got the new coat, and this and that. Just all type of goofy stuff. So like that, this just like what people gotta understand is Egypt and America is exactly the same. It's just a different time period. Right now it's technology. Back then it wasn't. Like stuff like that is the only difference. You feel me? But as far as the stuff that was going on, it was 9 times out of 10, like it was 100% the same. So anyway, I'm gonna drop that and drop down to verse 8 through 11. Same Genesis 37. Verse 8. And his brethren said to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obedience to me. So basically saying like in his dreams, like what he notices the stars, the moon and the stars, they got respect for him. That's what obeisance mean. It's just a big word for respect. And he told it to his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to the earth? And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same. So basically, what he's prophesying to them of one of his dreams is that one day all of them gonna bow down to him. Even his father, even Israel, who got the blessing before they did. He's saying all y'all gonna bow down to me. Like that's just one of it, because he was blessed with a gift from the Most High. Right. He was blessed with a gift from the Most High to interpret dreams. That was all of the Most High. And don't take that out of context thinking every dream you have is some type of, you feel me, spiritual aspect. This is just some gift that Joseph had. It was to interpret dreams. Right. So anyway, basically he was telling them that one day all y'all gonna bow down to me. And his brothers, they was mad about that, because they like even though they all getting a blessing, they knowing like, damn, but we gonna have to bow down to you, because each one of them part was thinking like, man, everybody gonna bow down to me, and it's gonna be me. The whole time it was the little brother. You feel me? It was Joseph, because he was the little brother. He wasn't the oldest one. He was the little brother. So anyway, but his father, he respected it though. That's why I say his father observed what he was saying. Because Israel is the man, Israel, you know, Jacob, that was both of his names. But anyway, he was a man of the Lord. You feel me? He was a man of the Most High. So he knew that everything was of the Most High. And he knew that his children had the Most High with them. So he knew if his son was saying that 9 times out of 10, man, they got to take heed to what he's saying. Because there's a reason why that's going to happen. So anyway, I'm going to drop that and go to Genesis 37 and 20 through 24. Okay. Come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit. And we will say some evil beasts have devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. So right now they really hating on him real hard.
Right.
So now they coming up with a plan, you feel me? Now they coming up with a plan to get rid of Joseph, you feel me? And who does that today? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We always trying to snake out our brother. We always trying to get down on our brother for something he got that we want, you feel me? And at this time, it was basically Joseph, them bowing down to Joseph. But nowadays, it might be some rims or the pretty woman in the neighborhood that he got. He got her, and you mad he got her. So now you coming up with all type of plans and plots to get rid of him so you can get her, man. That's why I say all this stuff is manifold to what's happening today. So anyway, verse 21, and Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. So basically, Reuben, he was like on some like, I don't know. Like, that's a little too harsh. Maybe we should come up with something else. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands and deliver him to his father again. So basically what he was trying to do, he was trying to finesse them. Like, yeah, we're going to just put him in this pit and this and that and that and this. But what he was going to do was take him out the pit and give him to their father. Like, you feel me? Because Reuben really wasn't with it. Like, he felt like that was like a little too harsh. Like, it wasn't that serious, but all the rest of them was down for it. So anyway, verse 23, and it came to pass when Joseph was come unto his brethren that they stripped Joseph out of his coat and his coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. The pit was empty. There was no water in it. Okay, so that was basically their plan to get rid of Joseph. They was coming up with a plot to get rid of him because they was hating on their brother, just like Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians we do today. We're coming with any type of scheme to hate on our brother. Like what happened with Tekashi 6ix9ine. What he did, he snitched on everybody. Right. That was his way to get rid of his brothers. You feel me? That was his way to get rid of them. You feel me? But another manifold with that is they was trying to extort him. So it was just a bunch of like fake stuff going on in between the brotherhood, because it wasn't no brotherhood. Because that's one of the main reasons why the Lord went on our side, you feel me, in this captivity, because we ain't had no brotherhood. You can't honestly say before we was put on those slave ships that we was actually having brotherhood. You can't honestly say that. You can't honestly say we was keeping the commandments. We wasn't, you feel me? We wasn't keeping the commandments. Right. Yeah, the Native Indians, they kept the fringes, but from my understanding, a lot of them was eating all type of abominable foods and praying to false idols too, as well, especially down there in the South American countries and stuff like that. They was doing all type of praying to false gods and stuff like that. They was falling back into sin. You feel me? Even though they was the children of the Most High, just like the original 12 tribes is the children of the Most High. And look what they doing with their brother. This they blood brother. This ain't just one of the brothers from down the generation. This is, they actually like came out of their father's seed. You feel me? And look what they doing to him, man. So imagine, look what we'd do to our brother that's not of our father's seed. He just stay down the street. Yeah. You know, we gonna do some all abominable stuff that don't please the Most High. So anyway, Genesis 37 and 25. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Galilee with their camels bearing spiceries, balm, and myrrh, coming to carry it down to Egypt. And
if I could, real quick, them Ishmaelites, them Arabs, right? You know what I mean? They was also a nation that came from Abraham, you know what I'm saying? But they going down to Egypt. Man, it's real heavy. You see the dynamics. When you know who's who in the Bible, you know that, man, they had us in slavery. That's a precursor to the Arabs having Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in slavery too, if I could. So lock you. You know what I mean?
Mighty man in this truth. But yeah, the Ishmaelites, they are the Arabs. And it's going to get heavy in a little second because a lot of people didn't know what I'm about to bring out. Some people did. I'm pretty sure brothers in the school did. But okay, Genesis 37 and 26. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Okay, now Judah, he was promised basically later on after this, he was promised to basically like to rule be the ruler of the 12 tribes. That's why Judah always the one making the decisions. Just like today, everybody always look at the African Americans as far as the culture and all that stuff. You feel me? Because that was.
And if I could, it's a scripture that says the scepter would not depart from Judah.
Right.
And what that's alluding to is Christ, really. You know what I'm saying? Not to, down any of the other tribes or anything like that. It's just that Judah, the scepter parts, because Christ would come through that. That's what that's meaning. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That the rulership of the whole nation would come through Judah, through Christ.
Right.
You know what I mean? All the tribes got a prominent part, but that's what that is saying too. You know what I'm saying? Salaki.
What?
All right.
Verse 27. Come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites. So they trying to sell him to the Arabs. And let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh, and his brethren were content. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. See, so basically what they did was, like blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, today we have compassion. So at the end of the day, with all the evil acts that was coming through their head, at the end of the day, they had compassion. It was like, nah, we can't do that, man. We can't do it. Let's just sell them to the Arabs and get them away from us. Let's get them away from us so we can just, go back to us being on top and Father not looking at Joseph like he above us, even though he our little brother. So let's just sell him and get him away from us. You feel me? But what people don't know how significant that is to today is because the Arabs had a hand in our slavery.
Right.
See, people don't understand that. See, it was something called the Trans-Saharan slave trade. That's basically the route. Okay, it's kind of blurry. But that's the routes where they went. Because what they did was they went to North Africa and they was trying to enslave the Africans. But just like, we see today, they not a peaceable people. They wouldn't go too kindly.
Right.
So what they did was they found that going to the western coast of Africa, that's what the routes was showing. I was trying to show you on the map. The routes, you feel me, they was going into West Africa because they realized it was easy to get those people that was in West Africa. But the definition of the Trans-Saharan slave trade was it was conducted within the midst of the Trans-Saharan trade. So basically, this Trans-Saharan trade, it was a slave trade and a trade of goods, including people, otherwise referred to as the Arab trade, conducted across the Sahara Desert. Now I got one more article about that, courtesy of Wikipedia, about the Trans-Saharan slave trade. Okay, North Africa had declined in both political and economic importance, while the Saharan crossing remained long and treacherous. However, the major blow to Trans-Saharan trade was the Battle of Tundibi of 1591 and 92. Morocco sent troops across Sahara and attacked Timbuktu, Gao, and some other important trading centers, destroying buildings and properties and exiling prominent citizens. This disruption to trade led to a dramatic decline in the importance of these cities and resulting anomaly reduced trade considerably. Although much reduced, Trans-Saharan trade continued, but trade routes to the West African coast became increasingly easy. So what they figured out that it was better just to go to the West African coast and get those people and those goods that we was harvesting on that land that we was, under at the time, because we ran out of there into West Africa and we was growing crops and we had land and we had structure and stuff like that over there in West Africa. And they felt like it was better to go get our stuff and us than deal with those, Hamites, because they was not a peaceable people. They was not a welcoming people, but we were. So people got to understand that them selling their brother to the Arabs, you feel me, the Israelites in the Bible, which is their biblical name, is significant to what's going on right now.
Right.
You feel me? Like that's deeper than what you might think. Like just seeing how they sold their brother to the Arabs. Nah, the Arabs had a big hand in this slavery too. Feel me? And they also built the slave ships that we got on to came to North America. So anyway, I'm gonna drop that and I'm gonna get back into the scriptures. I'm telling you, Arabs, they ain't y'all people. Y'all want to be Muslims and stuff. They sold y'all too. How you think they countries got built up? You think what the other Arabs built up? Abu Dhabi and all that stuff? You be outside your mind, man.
Right.
They had slaves too, man. Y'all just so small-minded and thinking, oh, it just happened over here in America. No, we built up all these kingdoms around the world, man. All of them. So anyway, I'm going to drop that, and I'm going to go to Genesis 39:1. Okay. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. So basically, an Egyptian that was high up in the ranks, he bought Joseph from the Arabs. Verse 2, and the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. And it came to pass from thy time that he had made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessings of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. So basically, the Lord was with Joseph, and the Egyptians seen that. They seen it, and they noticed it, and they knew it was something special about Joseph. You feel me? But the thing about it is, it's about to get rough for him.
Right.
About to get real rough for him. So verse 7, just like it always got to happen. Always got to be a woman that hey, through the woman we all seen. I'm paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing, but dang, I was lucky. Verse 7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph. And she said, lie with me. So basically his boss wife wanted him.
Right.
She wanted him, but Joseph was a man of the Lord. He was a man of the Lord, and he didn't believe in adultery with no one. It like nowadays, like, you know, oh man, she got a white man. I could try to holler at her. Or she got an Arab dude. I'm gonna try to holler at her. See, this is the thing, man. You don't mess with nobody's wife, man.
Right.
Nobody's wife. Just because they not of your brethren, man, they not of your bloodline. They ain't of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Rule is, man, you don't mess with nobody's woman, man. And Joseph was a man of the Lord, because he knew that thousands of years ago. He like, man, I ain't with all that. You feel me?
Right.
He ain't want to deal with no Egyptian, you feel me, wife. He like, man, it's an Egyptian's wife. He still ain't want to deal with it, even though that wasn't his brother's girl. It was an Egyptian, somebody not even of his nation. But he didn't want to deal with her. So I'm going to drop down to verse 10. And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her to lie by her or with her. So basically, he just ain't want to commit adultery. He like, no, I'm good. She steady asking him over and over. And he like, no, I'm straight, man. This was a man of the Lord. He got sold by his brothers into slavery, man. And he still was like, you know what? I'm still not finna sin. I'm still not finna sin.
Right.
I'm cool. I'm finna do what I gotta do. The Lord gonna be with me. Because it already said that the Lord was with everything he did, and the pharaohs and the Egyptians saw it. So he knew, like, I'm just going to keep doing me. I'm going to keep following these laws, and the Lord going to be with me, and some good going to come out of this. Anyway, verse 11 through 14, Genesis 39 and 11. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. And it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of the house and spake unto them, saying, see, he hath brought in an Hebrew unto us to mock us. And he came unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. So basically, she cried wolf. She did like all these heathens do to us. Every time we dealing with a heathen or something, and something don't go right, what happened? We rape them. We raped them. We did. I bet that's what happened with Botham Jean in Dallas. He was messing with that white girl, and something ain't go right. He was messing with that white girl, and something ain't go right. Now, I ain't saying it's facts. It's just my analogy of the situation, how she walked in his house like that. Out of all people, she walked in his house while he eating ice cream. I'm just saying, you got to stop. You got to leave these heathen women alone, man. Because when stuff don't go your way, it's going to go left, man. It's going to go left. She made up a whole story telling me he basically tried to rape her. And he ain't did nothing. He was pushing her off the whole time, basically telling her to leave him alone. To the point where she got so aggressive, she ripped his shirt off, his garment off, Salaki. She ripped his garment off, and he ran because he didn't want no parts of being a part of no adultery, because he know that that is a death sentence to the Most High. Right. It's a death sentence messing with somebody else's woman. But these heathens don't got the law, so she don't even care. She don't care that she's married to a high man up in Egypt. She wanted a Hebrew. She wanted a Hebrew. She ain't never seen a man like Joseph in her life. She like, man, I want him, man. He came into Egypt looking completely different. But he like, no, I don't want to deal with that. And that's one of the reasons how we got into Egypt, how we got into this captivity we in now. Because we wanted to commit adultery. We felt like, man, hey, man, if she wanted, it's cool. Ain't nothing I could do about it, man. You better get your girl, man. Right. You better get your girl, man. She want me. But what Joseph do? He ran. He ran away from her to the point where she ripped his garment off. He ain't want to commit adultery, man. And that's how we got to be. We got to be able to run away from these wicked women. Bro. When they want us to commit adultery, we got to be able to skedaddle. We got to get up out of there. That's an old school word. I don't even know how that just came off my tongue. But anyway, yeah, we got to be able to get up out of that, man. Don't commit no adultery, man. In the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be put to death, man. Right. And Joseph was all for that. That's why he ain't want no parts of that heathen woman, man. So anyway, I'm going to drop that. And I'm going to drop down to Genesis 39 and 20. And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, in a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. So basically, Joseph went to jail. He went to jail. Who go to jail? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Mexicans, Jamaicans, Haitians. White people don't go to jail. That lady just got 10 years for murder. She got 10 years for murder. Come on, man. Texas, they got the death penalty. They gave that white girl 10 years, man. White people don't go to jail, man. Don't ever listen to people saying the Hebrews was white. The Hebrew slaves in the sun, all them 440 years was white people, man. Right. You got to be outside your mind, man. If you believe in these false lies, man, you better open up this book and read it, man. No, don't do that. Come into the I.S.U.P.K. under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. That's right. And let the men above you open up the book and read it to you. And you ask them your questions, man. Let them break it down to you, man. I'm telling you, man, this is happy, man. I'm telling you, we got into Egypt same way we got into America, man. Committing adultery, not having no brotherhood. You feel me? Hating on our brothers. Man, that's heavy, man. That brother, y'all don't think that's real big. That's a big sin, man. To not have no brotherhood, to not be brotherly to your brothers, man. And these was the same seed. They ain't like this was just like some years down the line. Some people they met around the corner. This was their actual brother, man, that they did this to. Sold him into slavery, man, to the Arabs at that. It's a lot. Genesis 40 and 2 through 3. And Pharaoh was wroth against two of his officers, against the chief of the butler and against the chief of the baker. And he put them inward in the house of the captain of the guard, into the prison, the place where Joseph was bound. So basically, this was Joseph's way out. This was Joseph's way out. He put two people, you feel me, in his court, and he put them in jail with Joseph. So this is about to be his way out into how we all got in Egypt, you know, in the first place. So Genesis 40 and 5 through 8. And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night, each man accordingly to the interpretation of his dream. the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison. And Joseph came in unto them in the morning, and he looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. And he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his Lord's house, saying, wherefore look ye so sadly today? And they said unto him, we have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, do not interpretation belong to God? Tell me them, I pray you. So basically, this is his way out. He put two people of his court in there, and he's about to interpret both of their dreams to let them know that one of them is going to live and one of them is going to die. And it's going to come to pass.
Right.
So just to let you know that's what's going on, because we running through the verses, so I can't read all of them, but you can go into the scriptures and see it for yourself. So Genesis 41:8. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof, and Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. So basically, Pharaoh needs help. Same way Americans need our help. Pharaoh need help. He needed some help. And the Egyptians, they didn't have it. All them false gods, all them fake idols, all that stuff in Egypt that all these Egyptologists worship, it didn't work. And it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. It didn't work.
Right.
He got a problem. Pharaoh had a problem, and could nobody answer it. The same way America always got problems, and we answer it. We the ones fix it. We was the first heart surgeon. It was a black man who did that. America had a problem. People's hearts was failing, and they ain't know how to fix it. But Daniel Hill Washington did, and what he did, he fixed it. He's the first person that ever did open heart surgery. I'm telling you, man, all this stuff is manifold to what's happening today, man. So anyway, I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna go to 41:12 through 14. Verse 12. And there was there with us a young man in Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream, he did interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. He restored unto mine office, and him he hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. And he shaved himself, changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. So basically, this was the come up. The people who dreams he interpreted, now they back. One of them died, because that's what he told them was going to happen. And the other one, he said you was going to be free. So now the one that got free, he basically telling Pharaoh, like, man, there's somebody in jail. He's locked up. He a Hebrew. But the man know what he doing, man. He know what he doing with these dreams. You need to holler at him. Right. Just like they do today, man. You need to holler at that black woman, man. She gonna know how to get the spaceships out of space. You know how to let that black man, man. He know how to do open heart surgery. Hey, you need to holler at that black dude, man. He know how to make that fine whiskey, which is called Jack Daniels today. Right. That's one of the most famous whiskeys, was made by a black slave, man. I'm telling you, man. I better stop playing, man. I'm telling you, these scriptures is alive, man. These scriptures is alive, man. And they kicking, man. But anyway, that's what happened, man. This was the come up. You feel me? Pharaoh needed help. And he already prophesied two people dreams. You feel me? And now Pharaoh need help with his, because he know it's something that ain't right. He know it's something bad gonna happen. So anyway, I'm gonna drop that and go down to 29 and 30. 41, 29, and 30. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt, and there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. So basically, this was his interpretation of the dream. He basically telling Pharaoh, this Joseph, he's a Hebrew, one of the original 12 tribes, the father of the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans, Manasseh and Ephraim. He basically telling Pharaoh, like, look, okay, it's going to be 7 years of plenty full. It's going to be 7 years straight. The next 7 years, it's going to be cracking. It's going to be a none but food. It's going to be flourishing. But after that, man, ain't nothing going to grow. Nothing. It ain't going to be because it's winter, summer, spring. It just ain't nothing going to grow. For 7 years, man, everybody going to die. That's basically what he tells us. It's gonna be famine. That's what famine means. A lot of people gonna die. And Pharaoh was shocked. He was scared, but he knew that he was telling the truth because of already what the other two dudes, what the other dude told him about what he interpreted in jail. So anyway, I'm gonna drop that and I'm gonna go to Genesis 41, 39, and 41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God have showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. So basically, Pharaoh just set Joseph over Egypt. He's basically the vice president. You feel me? That's basically what he was. Because he say ain't nobody gonna be over him. I mean, ain't nobody gonna be over Joseph but Pharaoh. So that's what the vice president. He basically made Joseph second in command. He's not even an Egyptian. Right. Just because he's finna save so many lives. You feel me? That's how powerful Joseph was. And he was the little brother, man. He was a little brother. So all you big brothers, y'all better stop bullying your little brother. Right. I'm telling y'all better watch out for that, man. I'm telling you, man, that's heavy. That's another manifold to a lot of stuff that be going on today. Because I got bullied by my big brothers, man. I got bullied by all my big brothers. You feel me? All of my big brothers bully me, man. And now look, I'm the one in the truth, and they the ones, you feel me, fighting all the demons I'm trying to help them get off of, but you know, that's a whole nother topic. Right. So I'm gonna drop that, and I'm gonna go to Genesis 41, 56 through 57. Verse 56, and the famine was over all the face of the earth, and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians, and the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt, and all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all the lands. So basically, Joseph became that nigga. He became that nigga. Everybody coming to buy from him. See, his prophecy was that it was going to be in the land of Egypt, but the scripture just say it was in all the land. The famine stretched all, you feel me, from east to west, man. Right. So that means it's a lot of people died. A lot of people died. You could just do inside thinking, and you could tell that, okay, if it was famine from here to all the way over there, and we the only ones got food, a lot of people died, man. Right. But Joseph saved Egypt because they the ones that had all the food. You feel me? So basically, don't let these Egyptologists lie to you and tell you that Egypt was just so great. We made it great. Right. Joseph made it great through the Most High. Through the Most High in Christ, through the Most High, Joseph made it great. Joseph made Egypt great, man, because he saved them. And he made them tons of money off the food that they saved. Joseph became that nigga. I'm telling you, man. Egypt was not just great because they made math. They did this, they did that. No, it's in the Bible that Joseph made it great, man. Right. By saving them. Because the Most High taught him, so like the Most High gave him the strength and the power to be able to interpret dreams, man. And by that, he interpreted the Pharaoh's dream and he saved Egypt, man. That's why the Pharaoh made him second in command. So anyway, I'm going to drop that and I'm going to go to Genesis 42 and 1 through 3. Now, when Jacob saw, it's like Genesis 42 and 1. Now, when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, why do ye look one upon another? So basically, Jacob, which is the name is Israel, you know how black people is. We always got two names. You hear me? No, see, it's a black man book. Black, hey, he got two names. One minute they call him Israel, the next minute they call him Jacob. That's because that's how this is a black man's book, man. That's how black people rock, man. You feel me? That's how black people rock. I had like 40 names when I was in the world. Now I'm a one. You feel me? You feel me? I'm the faithful word. See, there's still two names. I'm a one. You feel me? But nah, let me stop. For the sake of time, let me get off of that. Yeah. So basically, he was telling his son, like, why y'all looking so crazy at each other, man? Why y'all looking so crazy? You feel me? It's corn in Egypt. Why y'all sitting around looking stupid? It's corn in Egypt. That's basically what he's telling his sons. Okay, verse 2. And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither and buy it for us from thence, that we may live and not die. And Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy corn in Egypt. So basically, this is the situation. They didn't put themselves in a situation. You feel me? Remember at the beginning, they was crying. Telling me, we're gonna have to bow down to you. We're gonna have to bow down to you. This they little brother they talking to. But he just telling them a dream that he had that he interpreted. That yeah, one day y'all all gonna have to bow down to me. So now they in a situation where they gotta go to Egypt and get some food. So let's see what happened now. Now they in a situation. These the brothers that sold him. You feel me? Because they ain't had no brotherhood, man. You gotta love your brothers, man. And not just your, you feel me, immediate family, your whole family. All blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You gotta give them love, man. The Most High will have favor for you for that. People don't understand how powerful that is. People think that's small. Like, man, God ain't gonna think about that. Because man, he dropped that $10. God ain't gonna kill him. Pick up his $10. I need, see, little stuff like that, man. I'm telling you, man. So anyway, Genesis 42:7. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, whence come ye? And they said, from the land of Canaan to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him not. So basically, Joseph acted like he ain't know them. Ain't that have, you know, see, this how you know this is a black man's book, man. This how you know this is a black man's book, man. Who only do that but niggas, man? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the only ones do that when they come up. When they get fresh and get fly, they was broke and now they came up, they got the big chains on. We the only ones do that, man. See somebody that treat us, but no, man. What's that, man? I don't know you, man. Get up out of here, man. Go on back to Canaan, man. Get up out of here. What y'all want, man? You feel me? No, I ain't got nothing for you, man. Black people the only ones do that. It's crazy, but you can't be mad at Joseph, man. They sold him, man. But he became, you feel me, a mighty man in the earth, man.
And if I may, real quick, it's real heavy because you got to think of what Joseph looked like. He was with those Egyptians. Egyptians was dark.
Right.
So that lets you know that Joseph was dark too.
Right.
Real Israelites are dark people, man.
Right, man.
So you can't believe that that so-called Jewish man is a Israelite.
Right.
Just wanted to bring that point
up. Hey, man, that's heavy, see? And I ain't even think about how heavy. That's a color scripture in itself, ain't it?
Right.
That's a color scripture in itself. Because if how did Joseph blend in with the Egyptians?
Right.
That his brother them ain't even know who he was. They ain't even know who he was. Exactly. They thinking he Egyptian. That's heavy right there. That is so heavy. So yeah, I'm gonna drop that and I'm gonna go down to Genesis 42:34. And bring your youngest brother unto me, then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So I will deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. So basically, long story short, he basically told them, he basically felt like he didn't know them, that he thought they were spies. They was coming to spy on them, how they got the food, and nobody else got food and stuff like that. But he knew they was their brother, and he knew that they had another brother, and he wanted to see him. So he like, man, go get your other brother, because they spoke him up and stuff, but they shouldn't have done. But they spoke him up, and he said, man, go get your other brother. So basically, he talking about Benjamin, which is the father of the West Indians, you know, Jamaicans, stuff like that. All those Caribbean islands and stuff. He the father of them. And he like, man, go get your little brother. Go get him, man, because he ain't even seen him yet. He want to see Benjamin. You feel me? He want to see him. That's his brother. And Benjamin, I don't think he had no part in the slavery. You feel me? He didn't have no part in the slavery. It was the other brothers. Right. So anyway, I'm gonna drop that because that's deep to go into. I'm gonna drop that. And I'm gonna go to 45:3-8. Genesis 45:3-8. Verse 3. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. So they were shocked, like, dang, that is Joseph. Because, you know, the Pharaoh and them, they made him shave his face. Feel me? All that. Because you say when he came out of jail, he said he shaved everything. That's how you know that's not our custom, to shave everything. Because that's another reason why they didn't know who he was. He was face shaved and all that. Right. They didn't know who he was. So anyway, verse 4. And Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they come near, and he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now, therefore, be not grieved nor angry with yourself that ye sold me hither, for God did send me before you to preserve life. So basically, Joseph, he looking at the good in the situation. He like, man, forget all that, because the famine didn't just stay in Egypt. It spread it everywhere. So if it wasn't for me coming down here, to basically predict what was gonna happen, everybody, all the 12 tribes would have died. You feel me? Everybody, a lot of people would have died. Right. And it wouldn't have been the 12 tribes. It would have probably only been 2. You feel me? So he felt like it was God's will for them to sell him to the Egyptian so he could save their life. For these 2 years have the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years in which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth and to save your lives by a great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me hither, but God. And he hath made me a father to Pharaoh and Lord of all his house and ruler throughout all the land of Egypt, man.
Right.
I'm telling you, this is heavy, man.
And if I could, real quick, it's real heavy because it's a lot of people, prominent people, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians in corporate society, and they could help Black people just like Joseph could.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Look at the parallel there. But what they don't do, they not like Joseph. Joseph was put in position to work with heathens, you know, steward over heathens' accesses and stuff like that. And they could help Black people. You know what I'm saying? Joseph did. But these Christians, you know what I'm saying, they don't help us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But Commander John-YAHANNA do help us.
Right.
But you see the parallel in that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's real heavy. They could help us, but they don't.
See, you see what I was saying? Like this is how we got into Egypt is so like it's significant to what's going on now, like in 2019. Right. That's where it was so heavy. It just the spirit came up on me like, man, that's one of your favorite stories. You gotta bring it out.
And if I could,
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Right.
He's working with the heathens. He's
right,
in a prominent place. You know what I'm saying? He got all the money where he can help us break the school off right now. Right. Not that we wait, you don't hate Jay-Z because we rely on the Most High. Right. But it's just saying he don't got the spirit of Joseph that you're talking about.
Right. So, water, sir. Yeah, so basically, Genesis 45, 3 and 8 is about how Joseph forgave them, man, because he felt like it was God's will. And that's how we got to start looking at stuff. We got to start hating on our brother and just having such an ill will towards our brother. We got to start looking at like, maybe this was God's will. I got to look at something good in this. Like maybe it's something good that came out of this that I ain't even noticed. You feel me? So I'm going to drop that and I'm going to go to Genesis 45, 17 through 18. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, say unto thy brethren, this do ye. Lay your beasts and go get you unto the land of Canaan, and take your father and your household, and come unto me. And I will give you the good of the land of Egypt, and ye shall eat the fat of the land. So basically, Pharaoh is welcoming the children of Israel to hell. It ain't start off that way, though. It started off real nice and peaceful, you know, just like Barack Obama. That's why I say this old Pharaoh, he got the spirit of Barack Obama. Because everybody felt all good. Yeah, Obama, yes, we can do it. Yeah, my president is black, my Lambo is blue, and this and that it is. Like, people loved it, that old Pharaoh, which was Barack Obama. Something coming real heavy. So anyway, I'm going to drop that. I'm going to go to 45, Genesis 45 and 25 to 26. Verse 25. And they went out of Egypt and came unto the land of Canaan unto Jacob their father, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and his governor over all the land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart fainted, for he believed them not. You feel me? So basically they went to their father to let him know, like, man, look, bro, that man. Look, bro, that nigga, man, we need to get up out of here. We need to go down there, man. He's living good, man. He's living good. Father, we need to go, man. But he ain't believing him, though. Even though he observed Joseph, what Joseph said, he didn't know how deep that it was going to get. But anyway, drop that. I'm going to skip over to Genesis 46 and 2 through 4. Verse 2. And God spake unto Israel in the vision of the night and said, Jacob, Jacob. And he said, here I am. And he said, I am God, the God of thy father. Fear not to go down into Egypt, for I will there make of thee a great nation. I will go down with thee into Egypt, and I will also surely bring thee upon again, and Joseph shall put his hand upon thy eyes. So basically, the Most High is basically telling Jacob, like, which is Israel, telling him, like, man, go down there. Go down there, and because this is the will of me, and it's something big finna happen. I'm about to set up something real big. Right. Set y'all up real big, and I'm finna set up somebody else to follow. You feel me? Which, if you know about the story of Moses, how Egypt fell. because of us, because of the stuff they did to us. So he set us up to live and become real big, and he set up the Egyptians to fall. So that was God's whole plan with us them selling Joseph into Egypt and all that. That was all God's will, because he was trying to bring down Egypt and make us a great nation at the same time. Because the Most High is smarter than we are.
Right.
And the stuff he do is smarter than we are. That's why you never question God. So anyway, Genesis 47:1. Then Joseph came and told Pharaoh and said, my father and my brethren, their flocks and their herds, and all that they have are come out of the land of Canaan, and behold, they are in the land of Goshen. So basically, all of them are here. All the children of Israel, we all are in Egypt, in the land of Goshen. We all came and migrated.
And if I could, right there, Goshen. They got a Goshen here in Kentucky, a Goshen, Kentucky. Goshen was a place where the Israelites, like you're saying, all congregated, where we was a land of safety.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, we're gonna have a Goshen again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Coming real soon. Salaki. I just want to bring that up.
The water, sir. I'm gonna go to Genesis 47:27. And Israel dwelt in the land of Egypt, in the country of Goshen, and they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly. So basically, we grew mighty in Egypt. We grew as far as the eye could see, just like in America,
right?
Just like in Mexico, just like in Puerto Rico,
right?
In Cuba, in South America, man, we grew exceedingly. You feel me? And that's why they had to come up with this system of oppression, so they can get all our money. And now they kids is riding in Bentleys while we catching the bus. Same thing happening then. It happened now. I'm telling you, man. Came up with a plan. They came up with a plan to come up against us in Egypt. They came up with a plan to come up with us today. So Genesis 50:16-20. I'm gonna skip over to that. Just for the sake of time. I can't read the whole story of Joseph. I wish I could,
right,
but I ain't got enough time. I wish I could. This is one of my favorite stories. But anyway, Genesis 50:16-20. Verse 16. And they sent a messenger unto Joseph, saying, thy father did command before he died, saying, so shall ye say unto Joseph, forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren and their sins, for they did unto thee evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face. And they said, behold, we be thy servants. And Joseph said unto them, fear not, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, ye thought evil against me.
Mm-hmm.
But God meant it unto good.
Ooh.
And to bring to pass, and it is this day to save much people alive, man. And people don't understand. Joseph looked at it like a lesson, you feel me? And a blessing at the same time, man. In this scripture, this is how we end gang wars, man. This is how we stop the GDs and the BDs, the Bloods and the Crips, man, the Vice Lords and the Moles, the Spanish disciples and the Latin Kings, man. That's how we stop that, man. Forgiveness, man. To forgive our brothers, man. To put it in the past. Forget it, man. I know y'all sold me into Egypt, man. Y'all sold me to some Arabs, man. Somebody ain't of our kindred. But I forgive y'all, man. Right. Because it was of the Lord. Look what he did for us. He got all us together. We all alive. We could be all dead because of the famine that spread throughout the land, man. This is what Joseph basically was telling his brother, man. Forgive y'all. I'm not God, man. All this stuff was the will of God, man. He did this on purpose, man, because he wanted us to come together and build like it was prophesied for us to multiply exceedingly, man. It wouldn't have happened if y'all would have stayed in Canaan and the famine spread. It wouldn't have happened. You feel me? We would have all died. It would probably only been a couple of us left. Right.
And if I could, it's real heavy what you bringing out, because keeping them with this theme of the Day of Atonement, that's exactly what that is. The Day of Atonement. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like he's atoning for the sins of his brothers. You know what I'm saying? He's making it right. And that's what the Most High did with us, man. I know that's something the Most High to give you that to bring out. You know what I'm saying? Because, wow, it's just real, you know what I'm saying? Thank God for the Most High. Man, it's just real heavy.
Damn, man. Forgiveness, man. to forgive our brothers, man.
Right.
Y'all want to forgive these white people and hug them in the courtrooms
Right.
and all this stupid stuff. Forgive the man down the street, man, because he tried to holler at your girl, man.
Right.
Forgive the man that stepped on your shoes, man. You feel me? Forgive the man who your daughter and his daughter had a fight, so now y'all going to get guns for each other. Give your brother, man. I'm telling you, man, that's how we end gang wars. Forgiveness, man. Y'all forgiving the wrong people. That's why we look at forgiveness like a soft thing to do, because you're forgiving the wrong people. You'll forgive people for 400 years of slavery, mass incarceration, feel me, abortions. You'll forgive them for that, but you ain't gonna forgive a brother for some gang beef that started. A lot of people in gangs and the wars that they in, they don't even know why it started. Some people started it 15 years ago. And you just know, like, oh, we in tour with that neighborhood, so when I see them, it's on sight. Man, forget them, man. Forget that. You don't even know what happened. Right. Forgive them. Leave it alone, man. You don't even know why the beef started. So just end it now. This is a perfect time to end it. You don't know. He don't know why it started. You feel me? Just end it now. You feel me? I'm telling you, that's what Joseph did with his brothers. They was going to be his servants. They said they was going to be his servants. And he like, no. We ain't rocking like that. You be my servant. You my brother. Right. You my brother. We finna do this the right way. Feel me? This was of the Most High. He saved all of us. I just had to get sold. I was the one, you feel me, that our Father liked the most. The Most High liked me at the time. He let me do something special as far as interpreted dream, and he used me to save all of us. Right. So anyway, drop that. I'm gonna go to Exodus 1 and 5. Exodus 1 and 5. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. Basically, 70 of Israel came into Egypt. 70. It was 70 of them, but they grew mightily and exceedingly. That just show you how the Most High do us. Like, see, people crying about all these abortions in jail and mass incarceration, man. The Lord on our side, man, he'll turn 70 into 400,000. He'll turn, and what how many black people live in the earth? I mean, in America, I think they said we 13%. So that got to be somewhere around like 20-something million. He'll turn 20 million to trillions of people, man. I'm telling you, man, y'all got to stop playing with the Most High, man. This man is somebody you can never question. Right. You never question the Most High, man. Overnight, he'll flip the switch, man. All we got to do is come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, man. Right. He was sent here, you feel me, to put us in our rightful position, man, as royalty in this earth, man, as the real Israelites of the Bible, man. You feel me? Just like Joseph was sent to do his job, man. Commander GEN.YAHANNA, he's sent to do his job, and he's doing an excellent job at it, man. Right. Water for Commander GEN.YAHANNA. Right. And, so I'm going to drop to Exodus 1 and 7. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. 70 people. One scripture, it was just 70. You drop 2 scriptures down, the whole land is filled with them. Filled with Israelites, man. Because we multiply a lot. This is how you know that was us. Because they doing it right now. They doing everything they can right now to stop us from exceeding mightily. We exceeding so much, we crossing over the border. The message is so many messages, they crossing the border. They like, man, look, we gotta go. We can't stay in Mexico. We gotta get up out of here. It's too many of us. We can't make no money. We gotta go to America. You feel me? Because that's what we do. We exceed mightily, man. No matter what they do to us, we exceed mightily. So I'm gonna drop to verse 8. Exodus 1 and 8. Now there rose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. New king rose up now. New sheriff in town. You know how Obama was. Obama, he loved everybody. He wanted everybody to come in. And he made gay rights legal. Right. He let the homosexuals do whatever they want. Obama let everything happen. That was that old Pharaoh. So new Pharaoh rose up. New not Joseph. Modern day Donald Trump. Right. Donald Trump don't know Barack Obama and them. Well, not Barack Obama and them. He don't know about the campaign that Barack Obama ran. Right. He don't care about the campaign he ran. He don't care about the people that he so-called, feel me, was down with. Because Barack Obama is a heathen. Right. He's not a of our kindred. But he wanted to act like he did. You feel me? He swear everything he did was for black people. You feel me? And that's how that old Pharaoh was. He wasn't of our kindred. But he act like he just loved it to eat the Hebrews. Yeah, come on, y'all. Get your daddy. Get everybody. Go in the land of Goshen. Everything is y'all's. Feel me? It was that old Pharaoh. Now it's a new Pharaoh rose up. The new not us. He don't really like us too much. Feel me? That's modern day Donald Trump.
Bruh.
You feel me? Drop down to verse 9. Exodus 1 and 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more mightier than we. The Mexicans. Ain't that what Donald Trump said about the Mexicans? You got to get rid of them. We need to start deporting people. We got to get people off this land. Got to get them away. Let's get them gone. Let's get them up out of here. Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when they're falling out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. Deportation, jail, reservations, crack, heroin, man. It's the modern day what they was talking about back then. Let's deal wisely with them. That's what the Pharaoh said back then, and this is what all the white presidents saying today.
Right.
Let's deport them. Let's deal wisely with them. Put them in jail for stuff they ain't even do. We legal now. People in jail for it. Reservations. Put all the Indians on the reservation. We can't even find them now. We can't even find them. A lot of us Native Indians, we ain't even know it till we came to this truth.
Right.
Crack. Yeah, okay, well, the cocaine is doing good, but we need to make something that black people can afford so we can destroy them. Let's come up with something called crack. And there go the crack epidemic. Heroin. Crack is not powerful enough. We need to do something else. Heroin. But now the opiates is falling on them because that's the will of the Most High.
Right.
Like what happened with Joseph. Joseph said everything is of the Most High. Don't ever think that this stuff just happening for nothing. The Most High did the crack. He did the heroin because he wanted everything to fall upon them. And now look at them. Now they the opioid addicts. And now they putting out, they just put them in the clinic, health clinics and this and that. No. Most High ain't with that. They overdosing on a rapid daily basis, man. They overdose. Our precious children are overdosing so much off them people money because they got so much money to buy. They got so much money, they going to buy all the opiates they can't sniff up their nose and they dying. Feel me? But that's of the Most High, man. Y'all started this and he finished it. Exodus 1 and 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. So who built every major city in America? Who built most of the major cities around the world? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Just like we built them in Egypt, those pyramids and all those statues and all that stuff. We did it in America.
Right. We
did it here, man. That's why I say this is symbolic to what's happening now. All the stuff that happened then is symbolic to what's happening right now, man. And it was because it was the lack of brotherhood, man. That's what started it all. Because they wanted to sell their brother into Egypt because they was hating on him. Because their father liked him more. Lack of brotherhood go a long way. See how far this went? Look how far having a lack of brotherhood went. It went from just selling your brother into Egypt to now the new Pharaoh, is coming down hard on all of y'all. All y'all children's children. It's hundreds of thousands of y'all. And the Pharaoh is coming down on all of y'all. When all y'all had to do was just have some brotherhood, man.
Right.
It's like it. Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they grieved because of the children of Israel. Okay? The more they afflicted them, the more they grew. Abortion. The more they aborted us, the more babies we had. Feel me? The more they deporting these people, the more they finding clever ways to get over here. That's just how it go, man. I'm telling you, dude. The abortion clinics is stopping now because of white women are having abortions more than we are. And they already can't reproduce. This how you know these people, these Hebrews of the Bible, is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because other nations can't even have babies like we can. For us to grow for them to grow like how we grew in these scriptures. How these scriptures talking about how we grew, that's only people doing that right now is Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. How is it 2-3 million black men in jail, but somehow we still is overpopulating areas to the point where they got to gentrify them and stuff like that? That's us, man. This is us, man. These scriptures is talking about us, man. This is a black man's book.
That's right.
It's a Puerto Rican man's book.
Right.
It's a Cuban man's book, man.
Right.
It's a Native Indian's book, man.
That's right.
It's a Mexican man's book, man.
Right.
You got to understand that, man. Y'all got to understand that, man. This is heavy, man. Y'all don't understand these scriptures because you're not in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
Right.
Coming here under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, you will learn these scriptures, man, and it'll be like second nature. It'll just roll off the tongue. Some people be talking about certain stuff, and you'll be like, nah, because the Bible said this, the Bible said that. And they be looking at you like that. I can't go against the Bible because then that means I don't like God. Feel me? So people don't understand how heavy it is to know these scriptures like the back of your hand. You feel me? You got to know these scriptures like the back of your hand because, you feel me, you will end a lot of, arguments, a lot of stuff because nobody want to go against these scriptures because basically you're going against God. But you got to know how to break them down. And the only way you can do that is in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commander GEN.YAHANNA. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, man. And now we spread it. We all the way in Louisville, Kentucky.
Right.
They didn't went from New York. We all the way in Louisville, Kentucky. The races of the races. We down here making that happen. 4th Street Live, catch us.
Right.
It's like last scripture of Exodus 1:13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel serve with rigor. Who's serving with rigor today? Who's doing it today? Who has to suffer from minimum wage? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Who has to work overnight just to make a living? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
Who got to somehow come up with rent every month, even though child support is taking all of your money?
That's right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians have to serve with rigor. Just like we had to serve with rigor in Egypt, man. The Egyptians made us serve with rigor. Now the Americans making us serve with rigor, man. Y'all got to come back to your national, y'all got to come back to your nationality.
That's right.
Come back to your nationality, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, it's your book. It's your book. Holy Bible, separate Bible. I mean, it was separate. It was separate from every other nation and given unto you. And under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, that's what we teach. We showing y'all through the scriptures, through historical facts. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you are the chosen people of God. You are the people that was in slavery in Egypt. Just like you the people that's in slavery in America. And we got to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. So the Most High be on our side, man. And another thing, I just want to clap it up one more time for the brothers and sisters in the school that kept the Day of Atonement because you're a warrior. Only cowards didn't keep the Day of Atonement.
Right.
Only cowards didn't keep it. Only fake Israelite groups, only Christians, only Muslims didn't keep the Day of Atonement. All the men and sisters in the I.S.U.P.K, we kept the Day of Atonement, man, because we love the Most High. We fear the Most High.
Right.
And that's the end of the class. I'm going to read the security announcements. We are at I.S.U.P.K, start at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister come to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes was a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3:8-10, means 10th in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase give to the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation.
We'll get more clarification.
Get more convocation on that. Because, hey, the Day of Atonement.
That's right.
Hey, we rocked that one out.
Right.
If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. That being said, I'm going to give a courtesy salute to all the brothers watching the stream. Mighty Shabbat, Majum, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shabbat, Rakatah, Yazmatah. Courtesy salute to all the sisters watching the stream. Mighty Shabbat, Majum, Yahweh Shamar, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah. Class is dismissed.